This is a special report from About Space Today.
Welcome to Special Report. I'm David Denault. Well, the news coming from NASA's recent accomplishments has been amazing, with a return sample from an asteroid and a new record of living in space. However, there is a missing link. Next, as America and the world is listening to Special Report from About Space Today. D&D Cruise and Tours is the official agent for About Space, and we invite you to come fly away to all-inclusive resort island destinations, or a cruise vacation from Port Canaveral, and even visit the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, or just come and see the parks. Call for a discount cruise or an island getaway or the Florida beaches. Call today. The call is free, and so are our services. Call 877-747-8631. That's 877-747-8631. We are Florida's group travel specialists. Welcome back. NASA's Commercial Crew Program is missing an important link: a second rotation spacecraft to take astronauts to and from the International Space Station. Boeing's Starliner spacecraft has had a number of setbacks, delaying the first astronaut flight to the International Space Station. And during a recent news conference, Mark Nappy, the Vice President and Program Manager of Boeing Starliner, said the primary issues with parachutes and the tape protecting the wiring have been addressed.
That new parachute is the critical path, the delivery of that parachute. It's being built by Airborne as we speak, and the soft link is being incorporated into that. And we're anticipating that there's 3 chutes, and the final chute will be delivered around the beginning of December. We expect that the drop test will occur in mid to late November. That's what the planning indicates at this point, and we'll watch that closely. But again, the parachute delivery is the critical path. On tape, the team has been focused on the remediation techniques, like I talked earlier, and what kind of applications of this tape are susceptible to the propagation of flammability. And so we're applying all those remediation efforts. The vehicle's been broken up into 12 zones, as Steve said, and we're addressing each zone primarily with tape replacement. If it's easy to take it off, or if it's easy to get to, we certainly are taking it off, and we've taken off more than we expected. It comes off rather easily. And we'll continue down that path. And for some of the areas that are maybe a little more difficult to take off, we'll look at other remediation techniques such as barriers or protective coatings. As far as the flight readiness and launch readiness, the chutes, like I said, will drive the readiness for potential launch dates. And right now, based on the current plans, we're anticipating that we're going to be ready with the spacecraft in early March. That does not mean that we have a launch date in early March. That means that we are ready with the spacecraft then. We're now working with NASA Commercial Crew Program, ISS, and ULA on potential launch dates based on our readiness. It's a complicated manifest on ISS, as you all know, and the launch pad of ULA, so we'll work that throughout the next several weeks and see where we can get fit in, and then we'll set a launch date. Team's done a remarkable job at, number one, addressing all these issues and getting work done and coming up with good ideas of things that we can go do to make the best use of this time. Very proud of their efforts.
And during a news conference, a question was asked about how long is too long for this testing.
Can you remind us of the long-range plans for Starliner with ISS, given the end of the program's coming up in 2030 or thereabouts? In other words, how many of these capsules are you going to end up actually flying? And really, I guess what I'm asking is there some kind of a drop-dead date for Starliner where if you don't get it going in time, there's not any point in continuing or not much? Just given the time and money involved. I know it's a convoluted question, but I'm just curious if you have any thoughts you could share on that. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll start off, and then I'll let Mark add any of his comments. I mean, our plan all along has been to have 2 different unique and diverse space transportation systems. We're working hard to get that in place. Once we do that, get Boeing through the crewed flight test and then the certification work for the vehicle, the plan would be to fly one Boeing flight and then one SpaceX flight for our crew rotations per year. And then if you just kind of look at taking us through the end of ISS, I mean, we've got plenty of flights for Boeing to go fly, and we're in good shape. And I know Mark and his team are working on each of those missions. He talked about the post-certification mission 1 on the Starliner 1, and they're working as well on Starliner 2 and 3 and 4 as well. So we'll see if Mark has anything to add.
Yeah, there's really no reason to change our plans. We've bought hardware for the 6 flights plus DFT. Still fits it well in the window that we have. There's additional flights are available outside of those 6 with other customers. So I think we are still committed, like we have been in the past, and we'll continue on.
Well, time will tell the story of Boeing's Starliner. Now, when ready, the Boeing spacecraft will be on a United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida and returning about a week later to White Sands, New Mexico. The flight will carry 2 NASA astronaut test pilots, Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams. Now, following the successful test flight with astronauts, NASA will begin a regular crew rotation flights between Boeing and SpaceX to and from the space station. I'm David Denault, and this has been Special Report, NASA's Missing Link.
This has been a special report from About Space Today.